Hello, students. I'm Dr. Sonia Kaur Bansal. Welcome to Uganda School of Education. And today I will be teaching you the topic writing skills. And the subject is pedagogy of a school subject English. So, students, let's understand about the writing skills. And today's my learning objective would be enable you to understand the concept of writing skills, as it is very important skill in all the four distinguished skills in English language, which are listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So today I'm going to discuss about writing skills, what it is, and how it is to be promoted in students, and what are the barriers in writing skills. You will understand all these things. So first of all, students, let's understand what is writing. So writing is something that you are putting up your letters or symbol on any surface. So the basically by surface we mean on a paper. By with the help of pen you are using it. So it means putting up letters or symbols on any surface. In any communication, writing have a very remarkable place. Just imagine students being an English student or being an English teacher. If we are not well versed with writing skills, so are we able to teach our students with that competency which we require? No, it is not possible. So, good writing skills allow a teacher as well as a student to communicate the message with clarity and ease. Whatever is written, it's considered more important. And when it comes to writing the foreign language, it is very, very important to understand how the writing skill is used. Moreover, students' writing is a creative skill, as another skill proficiency comes with practice. Same case in writing also. So when we are repeatedly doing the practice of anything, we are master of it. So writing is having the same impact on us. So let's understand in detail what it is. Yes, this is the Voltaire's quote. Writing is the painting of the voice, what you speak. When you are giving it the symbols and when you are just painting something, so it's like your voice is being painted. So, this is how writing. So, the act or art of forming letters and characters on paper, wood, stone, or other material for the purpose of recording the ideas which characters and words express, or the communicating them to others by visible signs. So, this means that firstly, writing is an art or an act of art because it formats the letters and characters on a paper, wood, stone. It is not like that writing is done on a paper only. It can be done on wood, stone, and any other material with the help of, like if we are writing on the paper, we need pen. But if we are writing on wood or stone, we need another instrument, sharpened instruments, which make us help to frame the letters. So the purpose is that ideas which characters and words express or of communicating them to others by visible signs. So this is how writing is considered as an art as well. Now writing as a skill. So writing is one of those important skills which is very significant role in communication also. So writing skills are highly essentials in a student as well as teacher because organization needs professional writers. Just think about this idea, students, that if there are no good books, no written material to study, so how can we get the knowledge? How can we study? So this is highly essential for any learner as well as for teachers. And some people develop writing skills as a career, like poets, writers, novelists, historian, etc. So these are basically adopting writing as their career. So this is really a very important skill which must be enhanced in students. So good writing skills allow us to communicate our message with more clarity and ease to a far larger audience to understand. So this is how writing skill is conveyed. Now let's understand students about the types of writing. How the writing is done, how it is seen in a different ways. So let's have a look on these types. These are including emails, letters and memos, free writing, easy writing, independent writing, narrative writing, expository writing, persuasive writing. So these are the types of writing which are must to know, and everyone should understand how the writing is done in particular type of writing piece. Writing an email and writing an essay would be entirely different. They are not having the same format as we all know. So it has a lot of difference. Now, types of writing. Often the types of writing are grouped into modes according to form and purpose. For what purpose you are writing and what kind of formation it would be having. So this is done accordingly. The chart at right shows the writing modes you will encounter in this book. Writing can also be classified as. So we are going to classify a few of the writings, and first of all, we are going to study about reflexive type of writing. So students, what is reflexive type of reading? So reflexive type of reading refers to writing for which you choose the subject and form. Often reflexive writing is written on for the writer alone and is not shared with an outside audience. That means whatever the writer is writing, it is written for himself or herself, and it is written in alone and it is not shared with outside audience. So the writer is choosing the subject himself and the form the way he wants to. All right, students. So this is how reflexive writing. Now, next is extensive writing. So extensive writing, on the other hand, is writing for which are given a subject or a range of subject. So writing extensively results sharing your writing, extensive writing. So it is actually giving a wide range of subjects. You are writing so much extensively on all the particular topics what you have included. So it is resulting in share your writing with our audience or readers also. After writing on a particular subject in a detailed manner, in a very researching way, you are writing so many good points or maybe the new facts or the earlier connected points. Then you are sharing it with others also. This is called extensive writing. Now let's understand, students, about the process of writing. How the writing is done. That's very important for a teacher as well as for students to understand that how the writing is completed. So let's understand process. A step-by-step process is involved here, and in which some mastery at one level is essential before the learner advances to the next level. So we have seen that when we are well versed with the first level, only then we can go to the next level. So in the writing skill also, it is very important for the learner to learn the initiative steps very nicely, so that the process can be completed with more efficiently, more competently. So the writing process is a series of steps to help you write a paper. How the process is done? It is like using a map to get to an unfamiliar place. So this is how it is done. So process of writing involves few points and let's discuss them one by one. So first step is pre-writing phase. Students, as its name suggests that this is the stage where you have not started your writing. Rather, you are doing preparation for your writing. And this pre-writing is the stage in which you explore more possible topics, choose a topic, and then gather details you can include in your writing. So this is how it is done. Then drafting involves putting up ideas down on paper in a rough format. First step is pre-writing and then second step is drafting. And in drafting, you are just accumulating, collecting your whole ideas about the chosen topic. And you will be writing just in a point wise or just in an underlined way on your paper. And the final draft is not there, but you are just keeping it for your rough reference purpose. So, rewriting and drafting. Then next is revising. Revising is something that in this stage you rework your rough draft to improve both its form and its content. Now your draft is finally figured out and you are actually giving improvement to your rough draft what you have done with that, because you have chosen a topic and you have collected ideas related to that, important facts. So everything is very cool in that way. So students, you have to now figure it out for a very reasonable purpose, whatever you are doing. So revising is the stage in which you rework your rough draft to improve both its form and its content. Now next comes editing and proofreading. These are very important steps when we write something. So editing and proofreadings are the stages in which you polish your writing, fixing errors in grammars, spellings and mechanics. First of all, we drafted the matter in a rough format and then we revised it. We just made it fair. But in editing and proofreading, there are many chances that when we did something in drafting or revising, some grammatical errors must have left. So these has to be omitted, these has to be just erased. Because if there is any writing piece of work and if it is full of grammatical errors, then it would be really very impressive and its motto will be disturbed. Objective will not be fulfilled. Proofreading is really very important for fixing errors. Spelling mistakes can also be there. You can just correct them after proofreading. So it is essential to do the editing and proofreading part. Next step, students, publishing and presenting. So this is the step where you are ready to present your writing article to the public, to the author, to the readers. Now you are ready to share your writing with others. Now see students how it is shown in a diagrammatically way. First of all, pre-writing, where you are choosing a topic and you are doing the preparation. Your preparation part is going on as what you are going to write. What would be the suitable topic if you are a writer? And then you will draft the rough article about it. And you can accumulate all the ideas and facts about it. Then revising, that means you are now preparing your article, preparing your writing piece. Then editing, proof reading is also required. Publishing and presenting is the last part, which I have explained you just now. Now the question arises, students, why do we write? We do listen, we do speak, we do read. Now, why do we write? This is an important question, that why do we write? So, for what purpose we are writing? We are writing to developing our writing skills. And developing your writing skills will not only help you to express yourself more effectively, it will also help you achieve success in life. So, if you are writing, your personality is somehow seen in that, and you are actually able to express yourself more efficiently, more effectively, in an impressing way. So it will definitely lead success in your life. Being a strong writer, a very good writer, without any grammatical errors, spelling mistakes, it will help you do well in schools, and it will serve you well in a wide range of occupations, from law and medicine to nursing and auto mechanics. So this is how everywhere writing is so important. If you want to prepare yourself to be successful in life, then you have to get mastery over the writing skills, and especially in reference to when you are you are willing to become teachers, English teachers. So you must be well versed with writing skills, because this is the only skill where you will be presenting your ideas and thoughts in a very smooth manner on a paper. All right, students. So we do write to develop our writing skills and to be successful in our life also. Now, what are the qualities of good writing? What are the qualities? So let's understand them one by one. First of all, ideas. When we are talking about good quality, good writing, so there must be definitely some qualities dedicated to that. So ideas, starting with an idea that interest you, make it more likely that you will produce a good piece of writing. So idea is there. Until unless there is no idea for writing a good masterpiece of writing, then you cannot help yourself. So it is important, however, to consider whether potential readers will also find the idea interesting. Even the best pieces of writing won't succeed if the audience is uninterested. So ideas are something that is jotting down on a paper, and your potential readers actually seeking something in your writing, and if they are actually very well, they are getting your idea, so that's wonderful. So idea is something that is making your writing very good, rather it can be your best writing. So best authors are actually renowned for their good ideas, because when the readers are reading their writings, they are getting the ideas of the writer, what the writer intends to write or wants to say. So even the best pieces of writing won't succeed if the audience is not interested, if the readers are not interested. Many books are published around the year by many known and unknown authors. But what makes the difference between a known and unknown author? That the known author is successful in conveying the ideas, and on the contrary, unknown author is rather not successful in conveying the ideas. So ideas are very, very important. What type of ideas you are accumulating, what type of facts you are accumulating to write before writing. Secondly, organization. So organization is not only about your ideas, but good writing has a clear and consistent organization that suits the topic. You have to organize that in a very clear way. For example, students, if you are telling a story, you will probably want to arrange your details chronologically or in the order in which they have been occurred in the past. So this is how organization of the idea is very important in lesson plannings of story writing. We generally go through steps, and we always encourage this thing that writing skill is very important when we are specifically talking about it. So organizing your content in a serial order, in a very logical order, is must for everyone. So students, just remember, after ideas, organization of your content makes your writing skill very effective and interesting for the readers. And it must be done in a very chronological as well as logical way. Now next, that's very important part, voice. So it refers to all of the distinctive qualities of your writing. What type of sentences you are framing? Is it an active voice or passive voice? So voice is really very important. From the type of language you use and the way you put together sentences and paragraphs, to the ideas you like to write about and the attitude you convey to readers. In what way you want to convey your idea of writing to your readers? That's a very important part. So understand, students, that when you are writing, your writing must involve correct use of active and passive voice. Now, very interesting quality of good writing, that is word choice. I have decided something to write and I have drafted. I have done all the important hard work which is required to do the writing skills. And I have drafted and I have revised my writing piece. But what kind of words I have chosen? So word choice is a key element of good writing. By choosing words that convey your meaning as precisely as possible. As we have understood that conveying your ideas to the readers is very important. If your readers are not getting your ideas, then just understand, students, that your writing piece is not successful. So by choosing words that convey your meaning as precisely and effectively as possible and capture your attitude toward your subject, you will help to ensure that readers understand your points and ideas and will increase the likelihood that you can sway them to accept your viewpoint. So if you have chosen the words that are beyond understanding of your target audience or the readers, it would be really difficult for them to understand. And we cannot be certain about the success of our writing skills. So this is how it is very important. And on the contrary, if you have chosen correct word choice, you have put on right words, daily use words, effective words in your writing, then it is quite possible that your readers are understanding well about your ideas and they will be increasing the likelihood with your ideas and they will be accepting your viewpoint, whatever you have written. So, very important point for developing good writing skills. Next is about sentence fluency. So what is sentence fluency, students? So first of all, understand that when you write a sentence, so it should not be seen to be broken. Sentences must be woven with each other. It doesn't matter how many sentences you are writing, but it matters a lot if they are woven properly or not. If the correct structure is given to them or not. How long is a sentence is made? What is the structure of your sentence? What you are following? How you are writing the opening sentence, how you are writing the middle sentences, and how you are writing the closing sentence. That is really very important to keep in mind. So when you are writing something, so sentence fluency is must. So in a piece of good writing, sentences seem to flow seamlessly. And the reader just enjoys the writing when the sentences go fluently in any book or article, magazine, anything. So transitions make it clear how one sentence connects to the next. Connectivity with one sentence to the another. A variety of lengths, structures, and openers help to create a rhythm that engages the readers. Our readers are nowhere actually losing the interest in your writing. So just take care of this quality, which is very important in writing skill, that is sentence fluency. Now students, next is conventions. So finally, it is essential for a piece of writing to follow the conventions of English grammar, uses and mechanics. Errors in these areas will distract the readers. How the English is written? There is a set pattern for it. If we are starting the sentence with capital letters, so convention is there that we have to start with that. But if you're not starting it with that, so convention is disturbed and errors in these areas will definitely lose your reader's interest. So conventions must be there, what is right and what is wrong, that is already decided, and you have to write accordingly. So this is how convention works in writing a good quality of writing paper. Now students, let's understand the writing process in detail. So there are the stages of the writing process. Pre-writing is the stage in which you explore possible topics, choose a topic, and then gather details you can include in your writing. Then free, there comes pre-writing where you choose your topic, information. Now comes free writing. And in this free writing, students write for a specified period of time without taking their phone, the page. Usually 3 minutes for a first attempt, then typically for about 5 to 8 minutes. This is how free writing is in flow. Then we go to the brainstorming. So brainstorming is a group exercise, thought-provoking exercises, and in which all the students in your class are encouraged to participate by sharing their collective knowledge about a particular subject. So brainstorming is very essential when we are giving something to write to our students. Listing, that is another important thing in the process of writing. The student is encouraged in this process use as lengthy list a listing as possible of all the main actors and subcategories that to mind he or she thinks of the topic in hand. So listing is must in that case. Now clustering. So clustering begins with a keyword or central idea placed in the center of the or on. So this is how clustering is done. This is a central idea around which the student or the teacher uses student-generated suggestions. And this also quickly jots down all associations triggered by the subject matter using words or short phrases. So this is how clustering is very important, students. Now choosing your topic, writing with invisible ink. You are choosing your topic with your interest, your mental aptitude. Then narrowing your topic. Use a planning web or a cluster diagram. You are narrowing your topic and you are just giving it a name. Considering your audience and purpose. This is important when you start writing. So considering your audience, identify who will read your article. Must be done beforehand. When you start writing, so it must be done, like it must be considered very efficient is going to read your article, as it will not only help you to write very efficiently. It will also help you to choose those words, phrases very obediently according to the mental level of the students. So students, remember this thing that you must choose your topic in a very nice way. So considering your audience is very important, think about what your audience what does not know about your topic. So consider the type of language that would suit them, that would really be understandable by them. Choosing tough words and very difficult to understand words are not really a brilliant idea. Now, considering purpose, for what purpose you are writing, that's also very important to have it in the mind. Writing for your fun purpose? Are you writing for your any social mission or your any other? For what purpose you are writing? Identify you what to accomplish through your writing. What you are trying to get after you complete your writing. Are the readers' actions more important to you, or anything else that you wanted from your writing piece to do that? So this is how a good writer is always very alert before writing. Now gathering details. So gather the information and ingredients you need before you write your first draft. So get all the details, all the important points beforehand when you start writing. Use the reporter's formula strategies to gather who, what, when, where, why, how. So this is how the reporters are writing the news. Who, what, when, where, why, how. And when you are jotting down all these details in a very interesting way, then definitely your writing piece will be understanding, interesting for the readers. Then in drafting, it involves putting ideas down on paper in a rough format. So when you are drafting, shaping your writing is must as well as providing elaboration is must. So in shaping your writing, focus on the form. Each form of writing has its own set of objectives. Attract your reader's attention with strong lead. You have to attract them. Providing elaboration as you develop each of the paragraph of the body of your paper. So focus on that. Providing elaboration as is developing each of the paragraphs in the body of your paper. Elaborate the ideas. Focus on elaborating or developing your key points. What you have done in pre-writing phase by providing thorough sets of facts, examples, details, everything is needed very, very clearly in the drafting process. Don't forget to quote the examples when you want to specify few things. All right, students, I hope this much you have understood. Now, third thing is about revising that we are going to study in detail. That is the stage in which you read rough draft to improve your book's form and its content. So using systematic approach is must. Revising your structure is also must. So ratiocination, applying logic to the way you look at your work by color coding items for analysis. At each stage, use a process of color coding and marking rules in your work to help you revise that. So revising your overall structure, start by examining the soundness of your structure, how your structures are looking now. Revise that. Your ideas should flow logically from beginning to the end. I told you writing is nothing, it is a painted form. So what is actually going on in your thoughts, ideas? They must be woven in a very So overall must be looked out and it must not be revising your paragraphs. Now this is how the paragraphs are made very structurally way. So consider the way each sentence contributes to the point of the paragraph. As you evaluate your draft, rewrite or eliminate any sentences that are not effective. When we are revising the paragraph, so sometimes it happens that when we are writing in the flow, but when at the revising stage we find that or evaluate, so we can eliminate any sentence that we wish that it is not effective and we found it not up to the mark according to the whole writing piece of work. Then it's revising your sentences also. Now check to see that they flow smoothly or not. From one sentence to next. Are they interlinked or not? Sequentially set up or not? So just see that you have avoided the pattern of most of sentences same way. So revise your sentences properly. Then revise your word choice also. So that each is the exact meaning that you intend to give your audience. It will be very effective. So peer review. Peer review, work with one of the more classmates to get fresh perspective on your writing. So get a peer review. So when you are actually getting the fresh perspectives on your writing, you may include more points to that, or you may eliminate some unwanted sentences from that. Peer review is must in that case if you are writing for the first time or for very sensitive topic. Revision and editing focused exercises. These are also very important, that how revision and editing focused exercises are done. So this is how students revision is done. Let's understand them, how it is done. The content of the passage should be related as closely as possible to what topics students are working on so that they can review core vocabulary or concepts very easily. Secondly, filler exercises could involve other frequent morphological errors, regular plural nouns without s. Students would then check their own drafts to correct similar errors. For example, we tested the velocity by placing a green trace dye on surface of the plot at a measured point. After each run, we estimated the vegetation cover using a 5-point pin frame. We placed the pin frame in 20 places on the plot, moving downward. Now, after revising how it is written, just say this. When it was tested by placing a trace dye on the surface of the plot at a major point, how this is the sentence is properly made. And unreasonable words are left now. So after each run, then we have put a comma here. The vegetation cover was estimated using a 5-point pin frame. The plot moving downward. We have just removed the pronouns here because it's understandable that who has done it. To make text as natural as possible, the instructor can simply underline or number the sentences. So bullets, numbers, points must be given properly. Afterwards, students should identify contextual factors that influence use of passive voice. Combining this technique for developing syntactic fluency often involves combining a set of sentences. For example, the man was old. The man had grey hair. The man walked down the street. The man walked slowly. But how it is done in a very nice way, in a combined form, you can have a look. The old gray-haired man walked slowly down the street. Four sentences come together, and it is a one sentence now. Then guided paraphrase. ESL or EFL writers often lack the facility with vocabulary and syntax to rephrase ideas in their own words. Most experienced teachers are familiar with the distorted paraphrases. Results when novice writers plot synonyms from a thesaurus into the original sentence without adjusting the grammar. So in cute paraphrase exercises, writers transform sentences or parts of sentences into readings using cues as the first step. The cues, which may be words or phrases, are designed to require syntactic restructuring in the paraphrase. So this guided paraphrase is done. For example, originally how it was written, people trying to interpret a situation, look at those around them to see how to react based reactions on. And rewriting, people to situation often base their reactions on those around them. So it is done in that way. One more, if a person defines on an event as an emergency, decides. Even if a person, an event is an emergency, how it is framed. Then text elicitation is also there. The specific topic or writing objective and the grammatical structure or structures to be used. Excellent sources for eliciting summary include surveys, graphs, or charts on topics related to writing themes, or just research articles. So it can be used to focus on diagnose and structural problems, develop technical complex, familiarize the students with this grammar convention must be taken in care and to provide strategies for organizing and displaying information. The dictation is there, and it can be very effective if the students are writing through dictation. It's a way to familiarize the students with the way in which grammar and vocabulary interact in common collections, as well as to address errors in writing that may result in part from between like learners and oral's perception of English norms and standard English grammar and spellings. So, instructor reads aloud a short text several times, usually one related to the topic or genre students are working. The text is first read at the normal pace with the students just listening. The second reading, the teacher pauses after each phrase to allow students to write. And done at a normal pace gives the students the opportunity to read over the text and make corrections in that. Then text completion. Close passage. Each blank represents a single word to fill in. Can be created either by rendition of words or by deletion of a specified item. If based on students' text can serve if the writer has produced errors in the grammatical item, deleted. So text will be completed in that way. What is grape text? Do not satisfy the number of words required for each blank. They can be used in related verbs that include forms with more than one word, such as passive, progressive, and present perfect. Then third type of text completion asks students to consider syntactic structures with essentially the same meaning and to choose the more appropriate rendering of the information based on the preceding discourse context. For example, climatologists have predicted that the continual warming of the surface, commonly known as the greenhouse, could have dramatic consequences. So A, the meeting of the polar ice caps, one result. B, one result could be the melting of the polar ice caps. Second example, this melting would in turn cause a rise of the sea level. A rise of the sea level would in turn be called this. Then editing and proofreadings are the stages in which you polish your writing, fixing errors, grammars, and mechanics. This is how it is done. Proofreading is the process whereby the text, grammar, syntax, and spelling errors. So proofreading is very sincere. Editing it's on the terminology. How it is done. On the terminology. This is really very important for everyone to understand how text completion is done, grape text is done, how of text completion is done. I have given you a few examples, and editing and proofreading stages I have also explained to you. Understand how you are going to do proofreading, because proofreading is very, very. See how it is done. Proofreading marks are done. The mark, how it is done. These are the marks left side. You can see there are different marks set for delete, insert, add space here, no space here, delete, gap, new paragraph here, no paragraph, keep sentence together. So this is how, and a very good master will identify, spell it out, insert period, insert a comma, insert an apostrophe, insert quotation marks. So these are all the important things that must be taken in care while we are doing the proofreading. And see how the marks are basic proofreading marks. When it is told to you to no paragraph, keep sentence together, you have particular. So this is how you will be using marks. So these are some references, students, and I really hope that later skills and to study more about it, you can go through these references also. So I hope you have really enjoyed it. And keep revising the writing skills, as writing skill is an important skill in English language. There are 4 skills in language: listening, speaking, reading, and efficiency is must in all skills. And writing is one of the very important skills that must be mastered. Good language. So, all right, students. So, thank you so much. Till then, see you in the next class. Till then, stay safe, stay happy, and keep learning.
Thank you, ma'am.